Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new video. So in the past 2 years, I've been reading more and more graphic novels, so I decided to make a video specifically about those graphic novels. But since it's Pride Month, I wanted to make a more specific queer recommended reads video, so here I am. Basically, the first book on this list is called Mooncakes. This story is a YA fantasy graphic novel that follows a young main character who discovers that their childhood best friend is being hunted for their magic. This book is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good. First of all, the world building is excellent and it's so immersive. The chemistry between the two characters on the cover is done so well and it's so well paced. This romance never felt too rushed or anything like that, which tends to happen sometimes whenever I'm reading shorter books, and since a graphic novel is shorter than like the average non-graphic novels, like typically romances and friendships and stuff like that tend to be or feel rushed to me, since the entire story overall is shorter and since I'm just such a fast reader in general. But anyway, I digress. The point is, this romance was so cute, and their chemistry made so much sense. The characters are so well developed and so distinct. The plot is so engaging. This story is absolutely so excellent, and it deserves all of its hype and so much more. So with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Beetle and the Hollowbones. This story is a middle-grade fantasy graphic novel that follows a young Sapphic goblin main character. When I say goblin, I'm not trying to insult her. She is literally a goblin. But anyway, she's trying to save her best friend from a haunted shopping mall. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good. Whenever I start a book with a really high Goodreads rating, I'm always skeptical that it won't live up to that hype. And when I say a really high Goodreads rating, I mean a book with a rating higher than like 4.2, which I think this book has. But anyway, or at least it did when I read it. Anyway, the illustrations are so pretty and so vivid and make the story so much more immersive and imaginative. The plot is so engaging and so intriguing. The characters are so well developed and so distinct. This book, like I said, deserves all of its hype and so much more because it's absolutely so excellent and so well done. The Sapphic romance is so cute and it's so well paced. I just really enjoy this book so much. So anyway, with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Girl from the Sea. This story is a YA urban fantasy graphic novel that follows a young Asian main character who rescues a Selkie. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good. First of all, the illustrations are so pretty and so immersive and so vivid. Like, I love the covers so much. The plot is so engaging and so engaging. I said engaging and engaging. I meant to say engaging and intriguing, which is what I always say, but those two words are synonyms, so maybe in general I should just choose one. Anyway, the characters are so well developed and so distinct. The Sapphic romance is so cute and so well done. Like, everything about this book is done so well. Sometimes whenever I'm reading a graphic novel or a shorter book in general, the story itself seems so rushed because it happens over such a short amount of time, but this story felt so immersive and it didn't feel like I was reading a shorter book, if that makes any sense. I'm so excited for the author's next book, The Deep Dark, which came out a few days ago when you were watching this video, and I'll bet I've already read it by the time you're watching this video, but at this point in time I haven't read it yet because today is May 29th. But anyway, I'm so excited to read it because this book was absolutely so fantastic and it was so good. This book deserves all of its hype and so much more. So anyway, with all that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Cheer Up, Love and Pompoms. This story is a YA contemporary graphic novel that follows two former best friends who join a cheer team. This story is absolutely so excellent and it's so well done. Like, the covers are so pretty. I don't know if they're supposed to be more like muted and pastel on purpose, but anyway, the illustrations are so pretty. I love the concept of like two characters who've met before and all meeting again. That's so vague and makes no sense. But I love like second chance romance, exes to lovers, stuff like that, or like ex-friends becoming better friends again, like in a different timeline or at a different time in their lives. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I don't know if there's a specific name for that trope, because I like it in both platonic senses and in like romantic senses. So anyway, I digress. The characters are so well developed and so distinct. Their romance is so cute and it makes so much sense. I love their chemistry. The queer representation is excellent. I love the transgender representation as well as the plus size representation. This book is so good. The sports elements were also done really well. Like, this book is so good and it deserves all the hype and so much more. So with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Mamo. I think that's how you say it, but I'm not completely sure. But anyway, this story is a YA fantasy following two Sapphic main characters who are teaming up to gather the bones of a deceased witch. You know, typical girl teenage hobbies. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good. The illustrations and the art are so pretty and so vivid. The story itself is so well done. Like, the world building is excellent and so magical and so immersive. The plot is so engaging and so intriguing. I know I just said earlier that I said I would choose one word, but I simply didn't because I forgot. The characters are so well developed and so distinct. The romance is so well paced and it's so cute, and the chemistry makes so much sense. Like, this book is really good and it deserves all the hype and so much more. Sometimes when a friend recommends a book to me, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to like it, because sometimes our tastes in books don't always align. But this book is so good. I'm so glad that I picked it up because I just really enjoyed it. So anyway, with all that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, is called Basil and Oregano. This story is a YA fantasy graphic novel following two Sapphic main characters as they navigate attending a new boarding school where magic and cooking intertwine. This story is absolutely so fantastic and so good. Sometimes I just love reading like more fun, lower stakes fantasy Sapphic books. Or actually, I don't quite remember if this book actually had lower stakes or if I just read it in half an hour. You know what I mean? Anyway, the world building is so magical and so immersive and so imaginative. Like, the plot is so engaging and so intriguing. Again, I told myself to choose one word since engaging and intriguing are literally synonyms, which I said earlier, but I forgot because I'm just following my typical generic script. Anyway, as I continue, the characters are so well developed and so distinct, which again, I know I say all the time. The Sapphic romance is so well done, so well paced, and so cute. The chemistry is so good. I just really enjoyed it so much. Like, this book is excellent and it deserves all the hype and so much more because it's so underrated and actually deserves more hype. Actually, I don't really know if this book is actually underrated or if I haven't seen it in many circles, in my circles. But oftentimes, no one in my circle is like reading the same books I do. So like, I can't quite gauge how underrated a book actually is, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I digress. The point is, this book was really good and I would definitely highly recommend it. So in conclusion, first of all, happy Pride Month. Second of all, I hope that this video helps diversify your bookshelf. If you enjoy this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the mailbox emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!